Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sakshi Khandekar, a first year PG resident in dermatology at SMS, and in this video I'll be telling you about few things you need to keep in mind while selecting the right college for yourself. Okay, so I know I am really late for this video because the first round of counseling is gonna end pretty soon, but nonetheless I do hope that you'll find this video useful, and so let's begin. Okay, so the first and foremost thing you need to see in any college that you are applying for is the amount of exposure you'll be getting. And by that I don't mean that a bigger institute always means a better opportunity. Like, I'll give you certain examples, like in my own hospital in SMS. But in radiology here, the CT and MRI machines are not in-house except for in the pediatrics department, while in some of the smaller colleges like in RNTO Udaipur or SNMC Jodhpur, there are in-house CT and MRI machines. That there are some colleges where certain procedures are only restricted for the SRs. Okay, so in that case, even if the procedures are happening, you might not get its exposure in your junior residency. So you need to make sure that, okay, if the procedures are happening, do I get to learn or not? Will I have the freedom to participate in those procedures or not? Okay, so you need to make sure of two things: what all is happening and how much will I get to learn as a junior resident there. Okay, so the other thing you need to keep in mind is obviously the bond of the college. So there are two kinds of bond in any college. First is seat living bond and the other is a service bond. So seat living bond basically is like a penalty amount which you would have to pay if you leave your seat in the middle of those 3 years of residency, right? But the main bond is actually the service bond, which is like you are obliged to do certain years of rural service, or you have to pay a penalty if you don't want to do the service, right? So whenever you are inquiring about the bond, do ask your concerned senior whether or not it's an escapable bond. Okay, so in some states you can escape out of the bond, like you can throw up a court case or something like that and you can escape the bond, whereas in some other states it's a very strict bond. There's no loophole. You cannot escape out of it. You either have to do the service or you have to pay the penalty. Okay, also the other thing you need to inquire is whether SR-ship is included under the bond or not. Okay, so in some states like in Rajasthan, there's 2 years of service bond, but SR-ship is also included under the bond. So you can do either 2 years of SR-ship or you can do 2 years of rural service also. But in some other states like in Gujarat, I have heard that it's only a rural bond. Your SR-ship is not included under it. Okay, so do inquire about it thoroughly whether SR-ship is included under it or not. Okay, also it might vary. The bond, this service bond might vary within the state as well. Like in Bombay, there are certain colleges which will fall under the Bombay Municipal Corporation. Like I got State GS allotted in second round, so State GS was falling under the Bombay Municipal Corporation, and State GS service bond was including SR-ship. Okay, but then there are certain other colleges which were not falling under Bombay Municipal Corporation. They were under the Maharashtra government, and in those colleges the service bond was actually a rural bond. Okay, so be very careful about this, that whether the bond includes the SR-ship or not. Okay, the next thing which you should be considering is the language barrier, because I don't think it's just a language barrier, but it's also cultural barrier which you would have to penetrate through. So especially if you are in a clinical branch, you should be selecting a college where you can at least learn the language easily. Okay, and the last thing which I would say it's gonna be a bit controversial, but still I will say it, that you should be choosing a college which provides you with a comfortable environment. Okay, I know some people might say ki, oh, it's just 3 years of residency, but I do believe that these are not just any 3 years. These are like the peak years of our life. We mostly are in our mid 20s or late 20s, and a lot will be happening around in our life. So you should be in a college or in an institution where you have a non-toxic department, where you have people with whom you can not only connect on a professional level, but to a certain extent on a personal level also. Okay, so like I do know people who have had great ranks, but they have still chosen a college which is like in their hometown or near their hometown, or they have chosen their undergraduate college only because their friends were also taking a seat in the same college. Okay, so try to find a college which will provide you with opportunities to grow, but also without losing yourself. Okay, if you have any more doubts, do let me know in the comment section below. And all the best for your counseling. I hope you get the college you want. Bye bye.